Tour Junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? DB here, riding solo for the LIV GOLF Houston preview. This is going to be a good one. I got some funny stuff to share. I've got some on-course reporting. I'm going to screen share some info from our friends at Bet the Number on the Golf Club of Houston, the site of this week's event. Obviously, I'm going to talk through my favorite bets. This is going to be a very interactive experience, even though it's just me. I'm recording this on Wednesday morning, so cheers, little coffee time for me this morning. The golf tournament starts Friday at 12:15 p.m. local time there in Houston. I think it's 1:15 p.m. Eastern. And this is going to be a good show. I'm going to talk through some picks, some props, a matchup that I like, all of the above for LIV GOLF Houston. First, I want to get into something funny that I found on the internet, okay? I tried to find a really good flyover of the Golf Club of Houston, which, by the way, looks absolutely mint. Their website makes me want to join. I don't have enough money to join. It wouldn't make any sense. I live in Augusta. But if I were in Houston, I think I want to join Golf Club of Houston. And if they want to extend some sort of special membership to me, I will gladly take it. It looks titties, okay? But some of the flyover stuff was a little tough. But I did find one thing on YouTube, okay? Because the PGA Tour played at this golf course for the Shell Houston Open from 2006 to 2019. There are actually 5 participants in LIV Golf who won that golf tournament. Paul Casey, Anthony Kim, Phil Mickelson, Matt Jones, and Ian Poulter all won. But there was this video. It's only a minute and a half. I'm going to show it to you because it's freaking hilarious. There's this video from the PGA Tour previewing the 2014 version of it 10 years ago. F me, man. Like, how old am I getting? 2014 was not 10 years ago. Come on. But anyway, there's a flashback to the 2013 winner. And there's one thing you got to notice on the 2013 winner. But also you get this terrible tip from this head pro at Golf Club of Houston that has 0 personality. So let's start there. Let's add it to the stage and watch this together, shall we?
Hi, I'm Tommy Wolfenberger, head golf professional at Golf Club of Houston, side of this week's Shell Houston Open. I'm standing on the 18th tee box, a demanding 484-yard par 4 with water all down the left-hand side.
He's got 3 wood out. He's trying to play away to the right side, away from the water.
Look at D.A. Point's belt buckle.
In 2013, D.A. Points held a one-shot lead at 18 and chose to play smartly up the right-hand side, taking the water completely out of play.
Just going at the right side of the green.
It just stays up.
After chipping to 13 feet, he relied on a putter he borrowed from his mother to get up and down for the win.
Whoa!
Here's a simple drill I like to use when practicing. It's called the right-hand drill.
Here's Mr.
I'm still going to
Personality.
grip down on the club slightly, play the ball
Called
back
the
in my
right-hand
stance.
drill.
Only this time I'm only going to use my right
your
hand
right
when making
hand.
the stroke. This will allow me to hit down on the golf ball, striking
Got to
it more
hit down on the
consistently
ball
each
to
time.
chip a shot on the green like D.A. Point. I'm Tommy Weinberg.
Boy, if I hit it that close on Sunday, I won't have to use my mother's putter.
Good God, man. 2014 was not that long ago. We had people doing that crap, putting that on the internet. What is this going to look like in 10 years? People are going to be making fun of me. D.A. Points won with a Lego belt buckle. A grown-ass man won with a belt buckle that had the Lego logo. What we have seen in recent years, we've seen, what's the thing that Munoz had and somebody else had? ShamWow? No. Flex Seal. We've seen Flex Seal. It's the worst looking thing on any. But Lego, a child's toy brand. You are a grown, kind of husky boy, man-child on the PGA Tour, and you wear that on Sunday to win with your mama's putter. Unbelievable. All right, I promise now we're going to get down to business. And I wonder where old Tommy Weinberger or whatever his name is today. I'm sure he's got to be doing content somewhere. I mean, God, everybody's doing content in 2024. Somewhere he's doing content, and it sucks. Tommy, this is no right hand chipping drill. You use, guess what? Your right hand. Boy, if I could chip like that, I wouldn't even need a putter. Good Lord. Okay. That's what we used to do back in the day. We used to put that out on the PGA Tour, put that out on the internet. Thank God it's still there. All right, let's look at something. Let's pull up Bet the Number and look at the Golf Club of Houston, shall we? Yes, DB, we shall. Now, let me find I got so many damn tabs open. Okay, I'm going to increase the screen size here a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, so I selected the last 4 years that it was played at the Golf Club of Houston, 16, 17, 18, 19, which obviously is a long time ago. Okay, things are going to change. And it was a full field event. A lot of these guys played in this tournament. It's in Humble, Texas, par 72. It is going to play around 7,400 yards, closer to 7,500. It's not that much longer. It's about the same. Reese Jones design, David Tom's redesign. So I've got these years selected, and these are your averages. On average, guys were hitting above average fairways, above average green and regulation. They were around 3.7 birdies per round, 2.25 bogeys per round, and yeah, that's what you got. So your winners for those 4 years: Lonto Griffin, Ian Poulter, Russell Henley, Jim Herman. Woo! Now, here's what's interesting about this golf course. There are 4 par 5s, all between 565 yards and 610 this week. I've looked at the scorecard, and I should have brought that up, but I don't have it. I don't have it queued up, ready to go. But maybe one of those is going to be gettable. You're going to have these guys are going to have a couple of really long shots into these par 5s. Obviously, the par 3s. You've got one at actually. Let me just pull it up so I make sure I have this correct, because I don't want to mislead the people here. Okay, par 3. We've got one at 173, one at 199. Then we've got 215 and 238. So some mid to long irons into those par 3s. I already checked the weather. I would share that screen and we'll go over the weather together, but I don't think it makes sense because it's pretty freaking perfect. There's going to be very little wind, which is interesting in Texas. We usually get some wind. As of now, very little wind for Friday and Saturday, like gusts up to 10, 12 miles an hour. That's it. Sustained winds below 8. So no wind. It's going to be hot. It's going to be firm and fast. I've already heard from one caddy on site. The golf course is going to play pretty firm. So that's good. We like to see that. Greens are soft-ish. Fairways are a little soft because we got some rain. But yes, I think it will eventually play firmer and faster, though, because we have no more rain and the heat is coming. So that's what I got from on site. So anyway, I think that, okay, so that's the par 3. So you're going to have some long approaches into those par 3s. The par 4s are where this course is really interesting. There are 4 par 4s over 450 yards, okay? There's a 467 and a 460. So those are like barely over 400. So if it's firm and fast and you get it 300 yards down there, even the short bunters are 295, like you still only have 160 to 170 in, depending on what the wind's doing, depending on what the flag, pin placements are. So even those two aren't super long. But there are two holes, 17 and 18 are going to be tough, that are both around 480 to 490. Those are the big boy holes. So you're going to have some mid to long irons into those holes for most of the field. But even with the scorecard yardage being 7,400 yards, it's not super long, because there are also 4 par 4s less than 400 yards. I think they're going to make one of these drivable potentially, at least one of the days. Like number 1 is less than 400 yards. Number 3 is less than 400 yards. Number 10 is less than 400 yards. Number 12, they could make drivable. It's 335 on the scorecard. They could move that up, move tee boxes around, make that drivable. So you've got 4 that are really short, and everybody's going to have wedges into that. So you're going to have wedges into those par 4s. You're going to have maybe a couple wedges per round into these par 5s that you're going to have to get up and down to get your birdie. Most of the field would. And even on a couple of those shorty, those two 460 par fours, depending on how firm and fast and conditions, like a lot of the field could have wedges into that. So there's a lot of short irons, and you can see that here on Bet the Number. If I scroll down here in these 4 years, look at the approach shot distribution. A lot of shots in that 126 to 175 range. Over 3, you got about 5.5, almost 5.5 approach shots per round, shorter than 175 or less. And a lot, obviously these are going to come from those par 5s and that one par 3. So, and despite the scorecard yardage in those 4 years, we love how our friends at Bet the Number do this Bomber's Paradise calculation behind the scenes. They say it's definitely not a Bomber's Paradise, and I would agree. There's not a huge advantage to length here. And I think when you go back and look at who's won, obviously that's the case. Even if I expand it out to the top 5, let's talk about the guys in the top 5 who were considered bombers at the time. Scott Harrington is a bomber, I can tell you that. Mark Hubbard, not. Harris English, not. Taylor Gooch, a little longer than average, but actually not a bomber. Ortiz, nope. Straka, nope. Zhang, I don't think he was. Bo Hostler, he can move it. Griot, nope. Spieth at the time, probably not. Ryder, no. Sung Kang could bomb it. Fowler in 2017 could bomb it. Luke List could bomb it. Berger, yep. Stenson in 2016. DJ in 2016, yes. So there's not a whole lot of bombers on this thing, and it's kind of one of those places. It seems like a lot of guys are hitting it around the same areas, around the same yardages. Not a whole lot of real green strokes gained off the tee numbers here. There's a couple with Luke List and Cabrera Bello. So obviously you're making up a lot of your strokes on approach and on the putting greens. Even around the green, there's a lot of guys who lost strokes. Emiliano Grillo's dark green here, but a lot of guys who lost strokes. So around the green play, I don't think is super important. When you have a higher green regulation percentage than average, that's going to lessen the importance of around the green play. And I think we see something similar this week with no weather, with the firm and fast conditions. Now, there is trouble on this golf course. So guys are going to try, especially in firm conditions. The bombers and guys are going to club down. The guys who can hit it straight up a gnat's ass with the driver are going to keep hitting driver. But there is some trouble. So I don't want guys who necessarily spray it. But that's a little bit about the golf course. Around the green distribution, I usually like to look at, but it's pretty even. It's pretty even between short grass, rough, bunker shots, fringe shots, whatever. It's kind of a mixed bag around the green, but based on the difficulty, it's not that hard. So that is that's a little bit about the golf course. I'm going to share my screen with something else here. Let me see. Where do I want to go next? Let's show a video of Patrick Reed commenting on this. Where is it? I got to find it. Hold on. This is where. All right, let me see if I can bring this video in here. Window. There we go. I think I got it. Yep, I got it. All right, so this is just a couple seconds. Patrick Reed is a Houston native, lives in Houston. Just a couple seconds on what he thinks how the golf course is going to play. Now, this was a while ago. This was not this week. This was a few weeks ago. But I thought, we might as well play this and see what he has to say. It's just a few seconds, about 30 seconds.
I think the biggest thing is it's going to be completely different because normally when we go out and play, it's the week before Augusta. So they kind of shave everything and it doesn't play like its normal self because the rough's down. And, this time of year, you're going to have that dry Bermuda. They're going to have normal rough. So I feel like, this year it's going to play different, but at the same time, it's going to play how it's supposed to play. And, that being said, you got to hit it straight, got to shape the golf ball, and you're going to use every club in your bag. And I think that's what makes that golf course great is you have to use every club.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right, so there we go. A little bit on the golf course there from old P. Reed. Everybody loves him, some P. Reed, huh? All right, anything else I want to tell you guys about the golf course before we get to the picks? You got average kind of fairways. When you look at the average driving distance here on the PGA Tour when they played the Shell Houston Open, it was like 280. Now, and that's not because it was like, oh, God, that was forever ago. They didn't hit it as far. That's actually not true. Like that was below average on the PGA Tour. So like I said, club down, find fairways, avoid trouble here at Golf Club of Houston because there is trouble. Fairway width was pretty average, though. It's around 32 yards. Rough was not really penal. So, I mean, some guys might send it a little bit as long as they avoid the water, because there is water in play on a lot of holes. Yeah, I think that's probably it. There are 12 players in this field who are in next week's U.S. Open. John Rahm, Bryson, Brooks, DJ, Keimer, Phil, Cam Smith, Hatton, Adrian Meronk, Eugenio Chikara, and David Puig, and Dean Burmester all qualified via the U.S. Open qualifying. It's a shame Joaquin Neiman missed it on the number, I think. That kind of sucks. Wish he could do it. Big old Mean Dean, man. He's playing awesome right now. So those are the guys playing next week in the U.S. Open, getting ready for that. We haven't seen a LIV tournament since Sentosa. So we're going to get GC of Houston here, LIV Houston, and then next week the U.S. Open, the week after LIV Nashville. And I have a big announcement. Big announcement. All right. First of all, thank you to our friends at Swannies. TJ25 gets you 25% off your entire Swannies order. Head over to swannies.co, click the link in the description. I'm rocking the Swannies hat today. They got stuff for men, juniors, women, all kind of good stuff. So we appreciate Swannies. If you want some fresh new gear, go check them out. Like I said, link in the description, swannies.co, TJ25 off your entire order. That's huge. You can get all kind of stuff, and it's reasonably priced right here in the U.S. They ship anywhere to U.S. and Canada. Family-owned business. They're in over 1,000, I think, retail stores and golf shops around the country. Really high-quality products. Sponsor tour players. Really high-quality stuff. Good company and good people. So support them if you want to support us. Listen, if you're a LIV fan, which obviously you probably are if you're 16 minutes into this video, help me out with this video, because like the more likes, the more comments, the more subscribes on the video, the more you share it, because I'm going to share this on X, probably share it on Instagram as well. The more you share it, the more that helps kind of send a message that people are kind of over this whole bullshit thing, and we just want to bet on golf. Like that's what I'm here to do. If it's a golf tournament, a professional golf tournament that you can bet on in a lot of places, which you can with LIV Golf, then I want to help you do that. So there's players at LIV Golf that I love to watch, and I'm going to keep watching them. So is it the perfect format? Is it the perfect setup scenario? Do I wish things were a little bit different in pro golf? Yes, I do. I feel the same way about the PGA Tour. But if you are here and you're watching this video 17 minutes in, please hit the like button. Give me a comment. Have you ever been to a LIV event? If you have, tell me what you thought about it quickly. It could just be a few quick words. Fun, love the music, hate the music, really fun. Family loved it. Cool vibe. Hated the vibe, whatever. If you've been, give me some feedback. If you have not been to a LIV event, the question is, would you go to one? Would you go to one? Okay. Me and Pat, here's the announcement. We'll be at LIV Golf Nashville in just a couple of weeks. I love Nashville, number one. One of our top sponsors, SoBet, is based in Nashville. We're going to go hang out with the SoBet guys, shoot some golf content with them. And I'm going to go take Pat to a LIV event. He's never been to one. So I've been to one in Miami a couple years ago. It was a lot of fun. We're going to do the media thing. We're going to get some great content. You're going to want to be tuned into our Instagram for that. And also, big news, we're playing the Pro-Am. It's our first ever Pro-Am. Me and Pat are playing in a Pro-Am. We're on separate teams. Hopefully I win. But we're playing in a Pro-Am, and I don't know that Pat's going to be able to pull the club back. It's going to be unreal. Thankfully, they don't allow patrons or whatever. Not I'm in Augusta, excuse me. I don't know, attendees, what do you call it? They don't allow a gallery on Wednesday and Thursday, only just close friends and family of those playing in the Pro-Am. So, nobody's at risk of getting hit by a golf ball with us, or less people are. We are playing in the Pro-Am. We've got 2 listeners that are in the Discord that are caddying for us. Shout out Hess and Drape. Going to be caddying for us. It's going to be a good time. Going to be some great content coming out of that. I can just tell you that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. But if you're going to be there at LIV Nashville, we will be there on Friday for round 1. So if you want to hang out, if you see us, holler. We'll be there. Send me a message, something, and say, DB, I'll be at LIV Nashville. I want to hang out. Would love to meet up. We're happy to meet up with anybody out there. We're going to do some content for LIV on their pre-show round 1. That's going to be a good time. We'll give some picks. I have some boots on the ground intel on the Grove, which apparently is a very nice course in the Nashville area. So anyway, that's coming up in a couple weeks. I'm pumped about it. That's enough rambling for me. Let me share my screen. Let's talk about some bets. Let's talk about some guys we like, guys we don't like, and some reasons, shall we? Now, when I do this share screen thing, this is what I do. I go to Bet Online because and I know it's an offshore, but it's available widely to a lot of people. So that's just why I do it. Let me increase the screen size here. How does that look? All right, that looks a little better. So let's talk outrights first. Let's go to futures. Let's go to LIV Houston, and let's talk some outrights. Okay. I go to Bet Online because, like I said, widely available to most people. If you're in certain states, you can bet on DraftKings or MGM or Bet365, maybe PointsBet, FanDuel, all that kind of stuff. But most people, you can go to an offshore, and Bet Online seems to be a pretty reputable offshore. So if I'm talking outrights, it's going to be a pretty tight card for me, I think. It's going to start with Jon Rahm. Like, of the big dogs up top, let's the three shortest: Bryson, Rahm, Neiman. The reason I don't like Bryson here is like, he showed me something at Augusta, some improved wedge play at Augusta, but this place is going to mitigate his best abilities, which is bombing it and long irons and all that stuff. This place is going to mitigate that a little bit. And there's a lot of wedge shots. There's going to be some touchy shots, around the green to get your birdie on the par fives. And I just don't, I don't love it. I just like Rahm more right now. Like, I like the total driving ability. He's had top tens in literally every LIV start. I mean, it's unbelievable how well he's played. And I know the win is coming. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 top fives in 7 starts. So it does feel like the win is coming. I know he didn't play well in the majors this year, but 8-1 feels like the proper place to start the card. I like it over Neiman at the moment. I mean, the only thing about Neiman is I wonder if Neiman thinks, because the USGA guy or some dude, I don't know, some bureaucrat of the USGA came out and said they were making ways for LIV golfers to get in the U.S. Open. Maybe maybe if Neiman wins this week, tiny little chance that guy says, bring him over here, get him to Pinehurst, because he's won twice already on LIV. I don't know. I mean, he missed the qualifying by a shot, is what it is. So maybe if Neiman thinks that's a little extra motivation, but I would imagine he's probably pretty flat. I mean, after playing in the longest day of golf on Monday, I don't know. So I think I just prefer Rahm up top. Hatton, Koepka, and Gooch, I debated on. I debated on these three. I think that, Brooks won at Sentosa in Singapore the week before the PGA. We know how he loves to peak. He might have peaked too early because then he played terrible at the PGA. He couldn't putt. And that's been a problem for him. The putter is the problem. On LIV, the total driving is pretty solid. Green and reg numbers are great. Scrambling is pretty good. Putting, he ranks 29th on the season. So not good. And that's been the struggle. I do think the score is going to go pretty low this week. I think we're going to see some low scoring. You're going to have to make some putts. And maybe Brooks has a slightly different approach this week. I don't know. He's obviously going to be one of the favorites at Pinehurst. I think I'd rather spend the units on Rahm. Gooch is enticing, but I don't know. Gooch not playing in the longest day of golf is probably going to help him from an energy standpoint, but I don't like that he did that. I really don't. Like, I think I wish he would have done that. And I'm wondering if it's like, is he just too fat and happy at the moment? I mean, people say that about some guys. I think that could be true about some guys that LIV. I think it's not true about most guys, but I think it could be about some. And Gooch is doing his thing, but he's not won yet after such a great season last year. Finished 4th in Sentosa. Came close, runner up to DJ in Vegas, but I don't know. Like, he just feels kind of flat, and I don't know that I want it. So that gets me to, like, Cam Smith. I'm out on, like, too much trouble around here. The greens regulation numbers are too high, so scrambling's not going to be as necessary. I'm out. I do love me some Dean Burmester. Picked him to win Miami. Hit that one for a nice little 40-something unit hit. But kind of like Bryson, I think this place mitigates his ability, which is just absolutely sending it off the tee. Doesn't hit a ton of fairways. Putting is sus at times. I like him a lot better next week. To honestly, I mean, we'll see what his number is, but top 10 upside, top 20 upside next week at the U.S. Open for Dean. He's hot right now. Played really well in his U.S. Open qualifier. Played well. I hit him top 20 at a bomb at the PGA. Threw that one out there on the Pat McAfee show. No big deal. I love me some Mean Dean. Mean Dean then followed us on Instagram, by the way. I'm going to get to see Mean Dean in Nashville. I can't wait to talk to him. We're going to be buddies. I got a feeling. But this week, I'm out. That brings me to my next two picks, and it's Louie and Abe Answer at the top. Now, both of these guys hitting a ton of fairways. Abe Answer is first in fairway percentage. Louie is second. Neither one of them hitting it super far at the moment. I mean, they still sending it. 290 for these guys, 295 for these guys, which is still fine, especially in firm conditions. That's plenty long enough. I just want accurate players off the tee. Find the fairway. But Louie's first in scrambling, which, like I said, isn't going to be a huge deal, but he's second in putting, sixth in birdie percentage. And I just feel like this is a great spot for him. He's been playing so well this year. Runner-up in Jeddah, runner-up at Adelaide, T7 in Miami, T8 in Mayakoba. T22 is last event there in Sentosa, but I just think total driving, iron play. Now, his iron number, green regulation numbers aren't as good. Iron play not as good as what we're used to seeing out of Louie, but I think that improves here. 22-1, I like the number. I like the value there for Louie. And Abe, like I said, first in accuracy, 11th in greens and reg, 12th in putting, 4th in birdie or better percentage. Like, he's really turned it up the last few weeks. He started out kind of slow. Then all of a sudden he wins in Hong Kong and follows it up with a 9th in Miami, which was not a good fit for him, a 9th at Adelaide, and a 10th in Singapore. So I like that a lot for old Abe Answer at 22-1. Local Augusta boy Benji Thompson, his caddy, on the bag. They got it going right now. They got it going. All right, I got one more outright. That's it, because I got because I got John Rahm up top. I really have one more that I like, and it's ugly. Here we go. I'm going to slow scroll it till it hits. There it is. There it is. It is Kevin freaking Na at 70-1. I mean, how many dang wins does Kevin Na have on the PGA Tour? He's got a lot. He's got a lot of wins. I don't remember if he's won a LIV event. I know he hasn't won one this year. I don't think he has won a LIV event ever, but we know that Kevin Na, when you get to a Kevin Na course, Kevin Na can win. He finished 6th in Hong Kong, 7th at Singapore, and his team sucks. Like, whatever that team is, it the Ironheads? They are freaking terrible. A couple of them should probably be relegated. But Kevin Na is a multiple PGA Tour winner. When he's rolling, he's on. He's 10th in fairways hit this year, 20th in greens and reg, 7th in scrambling, 15th in putting, and 10th in birdie or better percentage at 70-1. I think he's 65-1 on DraftKings. If you got a stateside book you can get on. And we just know that, like, Kevin Na is, you can say what you want about him. Like, when he's in contention, he can close. I think the value is there. I think the value is there. So for outrights, that's it for me. I did consider a couple of other names in here. I think Dick Bland, old Dick Bland, coming off I think it's a 4-shot win at the Senior PGA on a course where you don't have to bomb it. He's 4th in greens and reg this year, which shocked me. This is going to be a nice spot for him at 50-1. I considered that one. Paul Casey's won here. Like I said, I think he won here in 2009. And, we know he's a good total driver. We know he's a great iron player, but his putting is broken right now. And it's holding him back. I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. I've seen some people talk about Carlos Ortiz. If I'm betting Carlos Ortiz at 35-1, I'd rather have Reed at 28, maybe even Leishman at 33. I trust those two to close it better. Leishman's turned up a little bit more this more tail end of the season since the Rippers have gone on a little streak. Obviously a hometown event for Reed, and I gave it a serious look, and I don't hate it. I think if I didn't have Rahm on the card, taking up a lot of units, I'd probably have Reed. The total driving's been okay. He's never been really a fairway finder. Scrambling's still been great. He's 8th in putting. But as we know, sometimes like when these guys have local connections, the demand can be a little extra. So doesn't always mean it's a good thing for P. Reed. He's not a member here before anybody starts telling you that. But anyway, I think that's probably it for me for outrights. All right, let's talk team. I think there are two teams here that present some value. Let's talk about the Fireballs at plus 850. Okay. I mean, you got Abe Answer, who I've already talked about. Now, Chikara and Puig, I don't know that this is the best fit for those guys. It's probably not, but they're both hot right now. They both just qualified for the U.S. Open. The Fireballs have won a team event before. Chikara's won an individual before on LIV. And then you have Sergio, the consummate professional who continues to just he's had a great season. He's had a couple runner-up finishes, thankfully, to my guys. He's lost in the playoffs this year. He's Sergio. Like, so I could just, he's a ball striker. He's going to do his thing. So I could see the Fireballs making a little noise. Plus 850. That's a long one. Now, I like the Stinger too, with having Louis, having Dean. Those two are hot, but the problem is Grace, I think, is kind of going to pull him down. Schwartzel's okay. I don't mind Schwartzel, but just from top to bottom, I don't like the Stinger as much. Ripper's hot right now. They've won, I think, 3 in a row or something like that. But I don't think this is the best course fit for these guys. I don't. So then it goes to Torque, which is Neiman, Munoz, Pereira, and Ortiz. Pereira's definitely been a guy who I feel like, since he's got to LIV, has kind of just coasted. I've been disappointed in his play. But you have Neiman, who's Neiman. You have Munoz, who has flashed at times. I think he was first-round leader at Sentosa or something. He's flashed at times. Ortiz is a good fit here. He is. You just need Mito to step up. But it's a solid team, top to bottom. So 5-1, don't mind them. Obviously, Legion 13 is going to be the favorites with Rahm, Hatton, Surratt, Vincent. Isn't it Vincent? One of the Vincents? I can't remember. So, yeah. Anyway, I think I would go one of these two just in terms of value. Personally, I don't love betting the teams. I just go with the individual stuff. But that's just me personally. All right, let's talk top fives. Top fives, I got one guy, and it's Brooks. Just because, as I mentioned, I could see Brooks, he peaked at Sentosa, then sucked at the PGA. Putting's holding him back. Probably looking ahead a little bit to Pinehurst. But the total driving is going to be a weapon here. The iron play, obviously, stays a weapon. So I wouldn't want to miss out on on having, like, I don't want zero exposure to Brooks, but the 3-1 top 5, I like. And really, that's it. When I look at these values on here, and I'm already going to have some Rahm exposure. I'm going to have some Louis and Abe Answer exposure. I don't trust a lot of the other guys as much, or like the number. Like, I trust Brooks to finish top 5 before I do Hatton for sure. So that's it. And currently, there are no top 10 or top 20, which those would be, I would pick some bombs there. I'll probably drop those in my Discord or put them on SoBet. The only other thing I was going to do is, let's see, there's some matchups here. Yeah, here's a matchup I like. Koepka minus 120. I mean, you're taking the juice here, but Koepka minus 120 over Cam Smith. Like I said, I think there's a lot of trouble here. You got to be more accurate off the tee. Cam Smith is currently 47th on LIV in fairways hit this season. So I'll take the juice with BK at minus 120. And then, I don't know, we're not going to get away with this, but Charles Howell's not playing. He's been replaced on the Crushers. And he's got an injury he's dealing with. So, I'm taking Kevin Knott minus 105. They're gonna avoid the bet. But anyway, it was fun to click it. And then there's a prop. Let me see if I can find, where are the props? Go to props, LIV GOLF Houston. There's a couple props. Or maybe it was, no, hold on. Groups. Here it is. Groups. Sorry. Groups I like. Bang. Top Aussie, Mark Leishman, plus 250. I've already talked about Cam Smith, okay? Leash has been surging. T4 in Adelaide, Miami. T14 in Adelaide, T2 in Sentosa. He's surging. I like Leishman to come out of that Aussie group. Not a great fit for Herbert. Jones kind of hasn't played great. I like Jones on like really difficult, got to get up and down, use your short game courses. Herbert's a mauler and a putter. So I like where Leishman's at here over Cam Smith at plus 250. I think that's a nice little value. And then top South African. I mean, Dean's getting the bump here because he's hot, but Louis at plus 135. I mean, this one I like less. I could see Charles Schwartzel doing something. Maybe there's some value there at plus 750. I could see him making some noise as he's had, some good finishes this year. T3 in Adelaide for Schwartzel and a T2 in Jeddah. So, I mean, it's not like he can't go low and do his thing, but I think there's a little value there with Louis, but I don't love this one as much as I love the Leishman top Aussie play. I think that is it I think that's it. I think that's it for me. Those are the bets. That's the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. Like, subscribe, comment. I will put out final bets on X, on my Discord, on SoBet. For LIV Golf, we'll get some interviews and we'll get some intel from on site for Houston. And if you're going to be in Nashville, hit us up. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Cannot believe DA Points wore a Lego belt. Mother father. Swannies.co, link in the description. TJ25 for 25% off. Thank you to our friends at Bet the Number. Link in the description there too. You can do all your golf data and analytics and research on Bet the Number. LIV Golf data coming very soon. Going to be talking a little bit of business with LIV on that in Nashville. So check that out. Bet the Number. Link in the description. Code TJ gets you $5 off the monthly or $50 off the annual membership. All right, that's it for me. Bend over your bookies for LIV Golf Houston. See ya.